and I emigrated to Australia in 2007. Matt had never been to Australia before. I had been quite extensively to WA. Worried that Matt may not like it, decided not to go to WA, thought South Australia would be more central and give us the opportunity. If SA wasn't the place for us, then we could investigate other states.
Yeah.
You can tell your bit about how you then got a job after 3 months and went back into what he'd been doing in the UK. And I was actually going to retire when we emigrated. That changed pretty quickly. As soon as Matt went back to work, I got bored. So I also went back to work. And so we were in corporate world till 2016, 9 years. And so in 2016, we decided that we were going to take 6 weeks out, unpaid leave, and jump in our ute and our rooftop tent and go around the Northern Territories. And so we went up the centre of Australia, across the Tanami,
Gibb River,
up the Gibb River Road,
right up to Mitchell Falls.
And then that's 6 weeks away from work. At the end of the 6 weeks, we started driving back to South Australia, and we were just about to build another property and purchase another piece of land. And we looked at each other and said, what are we doing? That anxiety of going back into corporate roles had started building. And so we decided we weren't going to go home just yet. And then we sat on top of our ute and watched the sun go down over Uluru, and decided that at that stage, that's it. We're not going back to corporate world. We need to find something that we can do together.
So a little bit of the other story from my side as well. So I'd had some health issues back in South Australia. I got a little bit stressed and had to have a few months off work. I was in charge of a lot of crews in South Australia, and we decided that was one of the catalysts, that we were just working 7 days a week for what are we actually trying to achieve here. We don't have any children. We're not trying to save money for them. That was another one of the reasons that we decided then that we were going to jump off that wheel.
Actually, we were far happier in that 6 weeks than we'd been since probably 4 years before.
And we had a perfectly happy life there. It's amazing what you don't need to have a happy life.
So it was a complete reset for us. But we had no idea what we were going to do. We knew that we could work together because we used to do the property development on the side of our corporate roles. So we knew that it wasn't going to be an issue us working together. But we knew that if it was going to be full time, it had to be something we were both passionate about. And we've both always been passionate about good food and good alcohol. And I booked Matt a distillery course down here in Tassie for his birthday at the end of 2016.
What a good wife.
And I actually wasn't going to go on the course. It wasn't booked with the intention of this is what we're going to do. I was actually coming down to go to the spa, and he was on the course on his own. And then 2 weeks before the course, the joining details came through, and the course that I booked was for 2 people. And I was like, oh, that doesn't really work with my spa. So I rang Matt's best mate, Bushy, to see if he wanted to go on the course with him. He couldn't get the time off work, so I canned the spa and I joined Matt on the course. Day one, that was it. We looked across the mash tun at each other and we both had these big silly grins on our faces. And the decision was made, we were going to become distillers. So we sat in Salamanca that night.
And come up with a business name.
Yeah, so
Worked out
Alchymia.
most of the business plan.
We went through a lot of, bought a little black book and went through a lot of ideas. What can we do? What's our distillery going to look like? What are we going to call it? Alchymia is actually the Latin word for alchemy. And the alchemists in the 17th century, they used to use heat and water when they were trying to turn base metals into gold. And so it struck us that day, when we were making the whiskey wash, we were taking very base ingredients that were about to be made into liquid gold. So that's where the name Alchymia came from.
And that's when the big journey started. Big journey. So we sold everything. Sold everything we ever earned, bought. Boats, cars, houses, the whole lot.